And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
A few weeks ago, I got a package in the mail with a really cool board game inside. Well, it looked really cool anyway. Claustrophobia, this big, expansive game. And then inside the package was also Jaipur, or I'm not even sure how to spell it. It's the capital of Rajasthan. And when I looked at it, lo and behold, it is about trading. And I thought, okay. And I didn't even open the shrink wrap on it. And I was looking at other games, and finally I said, well, I should get around to opening the shrink wrap. And I opened it, and inside was a deck of cards and a bunch of little tokens that are used to collect them. Now, they're really good quality and nice artwork on the cards, but I still thought, another trading game. Then I saw this little piece of paper inside and realized that this was made by the same guy who made Jamaica. Now, Jamaica is a very simple racing pirate game, one that I like quite a bit, and I thought, well, is this game as good? Is it? Yeah, it's made by the same guy. It doesn't look that interesting. Then I found out it was a two-player game. Oh, really? A trading game with two players doesn't normally work. But I'm here to tell you, folks, that this game is one of the best of the two-player kind of games in this genre. Boy, isn't that about a bunch of qualifiers that I've played. We're talking, this is Cosmos two-player game good. It plays very quickly, very easily. Your decisions are very simple to make, and yet you're always watching your opponent, always seeing what they have. There's some luck. There's a little bit of pushing your luck. But overall, it's a very good product, and I have very high opinions of it. Near the side of the board, you're going to set up these tokens. These tokens will represent different goods, and each token or each pile of tokens is put in descending order, but you spread them out so everyone can see them. So you can see, for example, here, cloth. The first is 5, then 3, then 3, then 2, then 2, then 1, then 1. So you spread these out and put these out. Each pile is a little different. For example, silver is just 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, while rubies is 7, 7, 5, 5, 5. The three quote-unquote rare goods, silver, gold, and jewels, all have high numbers, but the other ones also have high numbers in the beginning. The other three goods, but they go down. Then there's three piles of randomly shuffled tokens. These are bonus tokens. So you can see here, for example, the 5 tokens. If we flip them over, they have different numbers on the other side. 10, 8, 10, 6, oh, no, I'm sorry, 9 and 8. So it goes from 8 to 10. And the 3 bonuses is much smaller. 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. And there's also a Camel Token and Favor tokens. Now, the game takes place in 3 rounds. At the end of each round, you're going to add up all the chips that you have won. And whoever has a higher amount gets the Favor token. First person to get 2 of them is the winner. At the beginning of each round, you're going to put 3 camels in the middle of the table, camel cards, and then 2 other cards, which are drawn randomly from the deck, and those cards could be camels, so there could be more than 3. Then each player draws 5 cards. If you happen to draw any camels, you'll take those camels and place them in front of you like thus. Then, starting with one player and alternating between the players, you take your turn. On your turn, you can either take cards or sell cards. That's it. You do one or the other. Now, when you take cards, you have different choices. You are allowed to simply take one card and add it to your hand. When you do so, you draw the top card from the deck and replace that card. But let's say I wanted more cards than one. Let's say I wanted 2 of the cards in the middle. I could take both of them, but if I take more than one card, I must replace them with other cards. However, instead of replacing them with other cards, I can replace them with any camels I have in front of me. The third option I have when I'm taking cards is simply to take all the camel cards in the middle. As many camel cards, even if there's 5, and then those cards are replaced by cards from the deck for my opponent. So those are the 3 ways I can take cards. There are some restrictions. You can only have a maximum of 7 cards in your hand. There's no camels that are in front of you do not count towards your hand. The other thing you do on your turn is simply to sell cards. So let's say, for example, I had 3 browns in my hand. I could sell all 3 browns. So I'd come over here to my token area, and I would take the top 3 brown tokens. So obviously selling first gets you an advantage. I'd get those. Keep those in front of me, and since I sold at least 3 together, I would take the top 3 bonus chip. So selling 5 cards of the same type will give you a better bonus chip, but waiting for that may lose you tokens here. Let's say there was only 1 brown token left, I could still sell 5 brown cards, but I would only receive 1 brown token, but at least I would get the 5 bonus. The only restrictions when selling cards is you can sell cards of one type only each turn. And also, if you're selling cards of the expensive stuff, the jewels, the gold, or the silver, you have to sell at least 2 cards. And so that's it. You buy, you sell. There's strategy in how you do it. Taking the camels is good because it will give you power in the future, but it might also put out some really good cards for your opponent to take on their turn. You buy and sell as soon as 3 of these piles are gone, or if the deck has been depleted, the round is over, you count it up, and the person who is the richer person gets this mark of approval or the seal of excellence. Woo! First person to get 2 of those is the winner. Oh, did I mention whoever had the most camels at the end of a round gets 5 points. Yay for them. I don't know why I like this game so much, but it just really works well. It's very simple, very quickly. I like the fact that you have 1 action a turn. Take cards, sell cards. What cards are you going to take? Do you want to take those camels? Do you want to use the camels? Because if you use camels and take a bunch of cards in the middle, you're giving your opponents camels. There's some obvious strategy that the book mentions, like, for example, taking a whole bunch of camels is a good idea when your opponent has a full hand of 7 cards, because even if good stuff shows up, they're going to have to give up cards from their hand to get it. When should you sell things? You have to determine whether it's good to sell stuff quickly and get the higher points, or to wait till you have 5 of the same cards to get these really good bonus tiles. It will play differently. There will be some luck, obviously, in what you get, but there's a lot of back and forth. You're not really trading with each other. You're trading with this middle table, which your opponent then takes. But every card you put down is going to be a card that they possibly may want. And so you're going to have to decide what's the best way and the fastest way to get as much money as you can. I'm very impressed with this little game. It's not going to probably win any awards. Maybe it will, but it's one of the best 2-player games I've played in a long time, and one that I can enjoy very much to play with my wife.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.